Hey, this is L Director. Welcome to another awesome L Director tutorial. Today I'm going to cover a basic feature film editing workflow. And we're going to be doing this with a process called offline editing. Now, although I've got a nice laptop here and it's got some power to it, why edit HD just because you can? That doesn't always make sense to me when you can do an offline edit and not waste that much more time in order to edit offline, and it's going to make your equipment last that much longer. Also, you got to realize for a 2-hour feature film, your computer, although it can edit HD, it may have some problems with it at some points. It may start struggling. Whereas if we're only editing at like say 240, it's going to be a lot better. So I'm going to show you guys my offline workflow and some of the other advantages that go along with it. So let's go and jump right in without me yapping anymore. First step, we're going to go ahead and open up Adobe Media Encoder, and we're going to import our file that we're going to be using for today. I'm going to use clip 49 right now, and it'll come right in with a preset that I've already made. No, it didn't. So let's go and add my preset here. I have an offline preset. We need to select this to Windows Media, and then I have an offline 240, and I'll show you what this entails. First thing you'll notice is I've actually cropped my video to 1920 by 800. You take 140 pixels off the top, 140 pixels off the bottom. When we shot this with Magic Lantern, and so I had my crop marks going so I knew where it would be cropped later on. One of the biggest problems I have with editing now straight up in Premiere is that in order to edit with this letterboxing and not have any rendering as I'm editing, you need to crop it ahead of time. I did try doing this with the 1920 by 800 sequence earlier, and I had to render the footage after I had about 30 seconds worth of it in order to get real-time playback. So in this case, we're just going to hard mat some letterboxing in for now, and this won't screw up our final online later on either. Our resolution we're going to downgrade to is 442 by 248. This gives us a this gives us a 16 by 9 image that will then, like I said, be hard matted with these. And again, we shot this at 23.976 frames per second, progressive square pixels, and we're not going to worry about the rest of this stuff down there. So when you get that all set up, hit OK and hit convert. Alright, so the conversion's done. Next step is to go into Adobe Premiere, and I'm going to create a new sequence. It doesn't matter which one you pick, and I'll show you why, but we'll just use the DSLR 24p. So sequence 2, that's the one I'm in. We'll go and import our converted clip. It's this one right here, bring it in. And I'm going to drag it down the timeline, and it will ask me if I want to match the settings, which I do. And now, as you can see over here, we'll go and make this bigger for you. Let's see. I have a footage, and it's only 248 pixels high, so it's kind of blocky, but that's okay. And I've got it hard matted now, which is nice. So I'm actually looking at my 240 image. That's what I'll be editing to, and I get awesome playback.
All right, and action.
So as you can see, that works out quite nicely. So let's say you get your movie edited. We'll just drag in another clip of this right here, and that will simulate an edit. Now we need to conform our online, and the way we do that, we'll be using Adobe After Effects. The reason, by the way, we have to do this the way we're doing it now, here's the thing. If I were to have converted this to a MOV file, I could actually save it in a separate folder and then do some folder relinking and have Premiere find the new clip immediately. But because I'm using a WMV and my negative, so to speak, was a MOV, it won't match up. So we're going to have to match it by hand or use a special After Effects script called immigration. And we'll show you that right now. So we copy this, go to After Effects, start a new sequence. This time I'm going to go 1920 by 800 for the new sequence, or the new comp. And we will paste it in here. And here's our shots. We got 1 shot and 2 shots. So let's go and find a nice clip on here. Yeah, that should be pretty good. And then here's our footage over here. If I was running immigration at this point, I go File, Scripts, and find immigration on here. I don't have it yet on this new computer, but you can go to aescripts.com and you can get it for just $45. It's awesome, where you buy 2 and you get some discounts and things like that. Immigration is amazing. It doesn't look at the extension. All it looks at is your file names. So it makes the process of swapping your onlines for your offlines just a piece of cake. So I highly recommend purchasing that. But for now, since we only got one clip, we'll do it by hand. Press Control H. That allows you to replace the clip. And then we'll go down and we'll find the new one, or the high def one, which is this. And watch what it does. Boom! It fills up now to fill the frame size, and I have both my edits down here. As you can see, we're also editing now. Here's the 16:9, and we're only using the center 240 section of that. So we'll go ahead and fit this up to 100%. Drop a colorista on, and then you go down and you start doing your color grade. So push the shadows towards green, push it further than you're comfortable with, and then we'll push the highlights kind of towards orange. Still a little too green, add some more orange to it. Boom, yeah, there we go. And then, if you remember in my last tutorial, I like to lift the blacks, and then we'll crush the mids, and then raise the highs. And maybe raise the mids just a little bit more. And so it's a balance game, but I think we're almost done here. And there we go. So this gives us contrast without losing any detail in the shadows. And we can flip the effect on and off, and you'll see the before and after. So anyway, that is my onlining workflow tutorial. And we did that pretty quick. So just to recap here. Go into Media Encoder. You're going to drop them down to 442 by 248, 24 frames a second. And we're going to add the 240 crop to it in there as well. You go into Premiere. You edit it at 248. So really low quality, but that's okay because you're going to get awesome playback with it. It's going to really help you out when you do your sound mixing too. That way you're not processing sound and trying to do high definition at the same time. And then when you're ready to conform your onlines, you go into After Effects, and there you go. Now, if this was a special effects shot, let's say, and you need to do that, what I would do is I take my one shot, paste it into After Effects, do the effects that need to be done, render this out as a DNx HD at full 1920 by 800, and then I would convert it back through Media Encoder back down to the offline format that we're using, and then drop the offline back in the timeline. And then when the time came to conform the online for the entire film, you're going to take your entire edit, put it in After Effects, and then you'll swap it back out for the DNx HD that you made. Hopefully that makes sense. I hope you guys enjoy. I am L Director, and tune back next time for another awesome tutorial at Stars Pictures. We'll see you next time.